All right, so let's get an update here. I missed this segment because we're having engineering problems or technical problems, I should say, on Friday. But she needed to break up with someone who moved across the country for her over the weekend.
Yeah, he's like, we've been together for 4 years. 6 months ago, he got a job offer across the country and was like, I want to take it. His girlfriend was like, I don't want you to. I have a home here. I have a job established here. I'm doing great. I have friends. I don't want you to move. And he was like, well, that caught me off guard, but I know if I don't take this opportunity, I'm going to resent her forever.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of, like having another talk about it, he just accepted the job. Was like, sorry, I did it.
So they talked about it, and she told him she didn't, and then he processed that, and he's like, this was my decision.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just went for it without the second discussion, and then, was like, I'm going to move. You don't want to give up your stuff, so I guess we're breaking up. He moved out there thriving, having a great time. She was like, I want to come visit. They started talking again. They're like, I miss you, all that. So she came to visit. And then he was like, look, if you move out here and quit your job and move out, I will put a ring on it. Like he promised her, right?
Okay.
So then she went back and she thought about it and was like, yeah, sold her house, packed up all her crap, quit her job, went all the way across the country. They've been together for a month now, moved in together. He's like, I'm miserable. She's been here for a month, and I am miserable. I was happier before she moved here.
So this was an email from the dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? And we were like, oh, we need Bert in on this because didn't this happen to you?
Yeah, it did. So when I was in San Diego at like, I don't know, how old was I? 24, something like that. Got a job in Washington, D.C. on a morning show. Moved out to D.C. and I was seeing a girl, Jane, in California at the time. And we had been going out with each other for like over a year. So I moved to DC, and then we agreed that she was going to move out with me, and she did. And I knew in my gut before she even took off it wasn't the right decision. But I was so insecure to be by myself in a new city, in a new job, and I felt committed to her that I said, yeah, come on, move out. And then within 6 months, we both knew it wasn't working, and I'm like, let's just end this thing. So she flew back to be with her parents in San Jose, and I remember pulling over on the GW Parkway, bawling my eyes out after dropping her off. I felt so much guilt and so bad about it.
Well, that's basically where he is now, except they're still moved in together. He hasn't done the whole cry on the side of the highway part yet. He's still living with her, and he's like, I gave it a few weeks. I feel more strongly miserable than ever. And now I have to tell her, you gave up everything for me, and now I want you to give up on me and go away.
Oh, God, this is not going to go well. Okay, so Mo has got the update, and if you have anything going on in your life and you want to share it with us, we'll try to get you some advice from Bert Show fam. Hit us up at thebertshow.com. All right, Mo, how's it turn out?
This entire situation really sucks, and I know you think it's all my fault, but it isn't. She pressured me quite a bit to get to this point. She wanted a commitment from me far before I was ready.
What?
She also had a choice to come out here.
Okay, so hold on a second, because this tone sounds different than what you guys have just told us about Friday.
It certainly does.
It is?
A totally different person wrote it. Sorry.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Weird.
She could have said no. She had just as much knowledge of our relationship as I did. She made the choice, making all the same assumptions that I did. So, it isn't entirely my fault. Well,
who's he been talking to? That's
I don't know. This man is switched up.
It's like he's surrounded himself with like just his dudes that are like, dude, this isn't even on you, man. This is on her.
She knew what she was in for. She met you before.
Yeah.
Well, I broke the news to her, told her how I was feeling. She was upset, obviously. We talked for a really long time. We discussed all the reasons that I'm feeling miserable and what changed. We also talked about a lot of fundamental problems that we have in our relationship. Back to even before I had moved out here. It was actually a really long overdue conversation that made me see a lot of things that I hadn't seen before. After several hours of talking, she told me that she really didn't want to give up. She said she loves me and she is willing to try whatever to make it work. I told her that I just wasn't sure. I said I think we needed a break. She said she isn't leaving and isn't moving back just yet. She said she is open to a break, but moving back would totally be giving up, and she doesn't want to. So, she is looking for her own apartment this week. We will take an indefinite break. I was sure to be very clear about what I was thinking so she couldn't ever accuse me of leading her on and convincing her to stay. So, I told her that I plan to date other people.
Damn.
and I'm not making any promises that we are getting back together. So I told her we'd stay in communication and keep an open mind about our future, that I couldn't make any promises. She seemed to accept that. So that is where we are. I'll let you know if and when something changes.
Well, at the bottom part of this, he's being honest, but at the top part, it's more like maybe we need to take a break. He's not into this anymore. He should just tell her it's over. Like, move back home. Like, if you're going to be out here, great, but do it on your own terms, but I'm not into this anymore. But it just sounds so different than what you guys were relaying on Friday.
Well, he doesn't want to commit 100% to being the bad guy. He's keeping that like 5% of, hey, if I let you know that there's a window or a door cracked, then it doesn't make me seem as bad.
Bert sobbed on the side of the highway. Nary a tear from this guy. Not one.
No, I accepted 100% responsibility. And I realized as soon as she got out there that I did this out of insecurity. This was so selfish. This was all about me. And she got out there, and I immediately felt like it was the wrong decision and gutted it out for some month, like 6 months or something like that. But I think it was the day we got back from a bar or a night at a bar and we got into such a bad argument that she threw a phone at me. I was like, yeah, this is over.
That'll do it.
This isn't working. I matrixed that thing, man. I was Keanu.
What kind of phone was it? Like Razor?
It was, no.
If it was a sidekick, you could have died.
No.
Yeah, it was like, depending on what year, that phone could have killed you.
No, this was so long ago that she pulled it out of the wall.
Landline.
Yes, man.
The Bert Show.